Coming up on this week's news, we bust the scare stories over plug-in solar and bi-directional RCDs. Investigators probe a dramatic explosion at a rooftop solar install on a home in Northamptonshire, and Wago recalls a terminal block over fire fears. Welcome to Electrical News Weekly in association with Anker, the world's #1 home solar battery storage company, and the SolarBank 3 Pro, the 1200-watt bi-directional energy storage system with 4 MPPTs and 2.68 kilowatt-hours capacity. Whether you're listening in the van, on-site or down at the wholesale counter, I'm Joe Robinson, and I've been through the best of the electrical industry news to save you the trouble. We're being lit by Flex 7 with their lightning-fast pre-wired modular lighting connection system that keeps your installation times razor sharp. And if you think you've spotted the 2 words that I've been challenged to slip into this week's show, comment with them below for the chance to win this exclusive cap branded with friends of the show, Quickwire and Chump Tools. And while you're there, click the links in the show notes to check out what our sponsors offer. On the show notes webpage, you'll also find our bonus stories section covering a wide range of subjects. It's definitely worth a read, and stay tuned to the end of the show to catch up on our regular features, including the weather from Joe 3PO, Learner of the Week, and the light side of the news. eFIXX has become the first UK organisation to conduct real-world tests into the technical fears over plug-in solar panels, and we've discovered that, much like Homer's Odyssey, the scare stories are just that. Specifically, we found that warnings about the behaviour of RCDs and RCBOs with the technology are overstated. The concerns surfaced back in March when Energy Secretary Ed Miliband gave the green light to plug-in solar panels in the UK. The units are designed to be put in gardens and balconies and simply plugged into a socket outlet. The approval follows the runaway success of portable PV in Germany, where they're present in over 1 million homes. But both the IET and the Electrical Contractors Association voiced fears over the move. The IET's technical chief Mark Coles raised an issue with RCDs. Under certain conditions, the devices can be compromised when sources of supply are connected to the load side. That's because when they trip, the integrated circuit and the solenoid can remain permanently energised, which can burn out the device. But when we trip tested unidirectional RCBOs, a major brand of plug-in solar inverter shut down in just half a cycle. That's just 10 milliseconds. In fact, it's a tenth of the time specified in the newly released German standard for plug-in solar. This VDE specification suggests Type AC RCDs should be replaced by Type A, but it makes no reference to either unidirectional or bidirectional devices. By contrast, bidirectional RCDs were the subject of an amendment to the wiring regulations rushed out by the IET last year. These disconnect the integrated circuit and solenoid in a trip situation. Our research, as well as the German standard, would appear to question the need for bidirectional RCDs altogether. An additional fear raised by the IET has also been debunked. The organisation envisaged a problem in households with more than one plug-in solar pack. Normally, they would synchronise with the DNO supply and with each other. But if the power supply is lost, they could see each other's power and continue operating. In effect, they would become an island of power separate from the grid. But when we tested this setup in real life, the inverters recognised that they had lost connection to the national network and promptly shut up shop. That's because most inverters have clever technology which puts a tiny signature on its mains output. This signature is normally completely swamped by the grid, but if it shows up, it means it's in an island and it shuts down. The tests were conducted by my colleague Gordon Routledge and recorded in a much viewed and much acclaimed video. I've put a link to that in the show notes. Meanwhile, overseas, technical fears don't seem to have stopped the rollout of plug-in solar one little bit. IKEA has just begun selling the kit in Belgium. The tech is already widely used in Germany, the Netherlands, Italy, France and Austria. 6 US states allow it and a further 7 are considering it, including New York and California. And Greek Energy Minister Stavros Papastavrou says he wants every citizen to have access to it. According to Mr. Miliband, plug-in solar is supposed to be available in the UK this summer, but retailers and electrical industry chiefs are remaining tight-lipped about actual launch dates. We'll bring you more on this when we get it. Something else all citizens should have is the range of high-quality smoke alarms from Kube. From battery-powered to hardwired, there's an easy-to-install solution that suits your customers with the latest sensing technologies to detect potential fire hazards and comply with strict European standards. Our very own Joe Hammonds made a great video on the new range with one very surprising feature. You know where to find the link. Adding to the quagmire of solar PV controversy, a solar install on a newly built house in Wellingborough, Northamptonshire appears to have exploded. The blast blew the whole roof off the property. The terrifying incident was caught by a neighbour's Ring doorbell camera. Residents living nearby described their horror at watching the family rush to safety. They speculated that the panels overheated on one of the warmest days of the year. But while Northamptonshire Fire and Rescue Service said it believed that the fire started accidentally, it declined to speculate on the actual cause of the incident. If If you want to make sure your electrical installations are as safe as possible, check out the new MI3136 tester from Metrel. It's faster, more functional, and has a better screen than its predecessor, the MI3125, which was already great. With features you'd only expect to find on a more expensive tester, this is an exponential upgrade. More on this later in the episode, and check out Rick's full review video in the show notes. In the courts, a fencing contractor in Liverpool has been fined after an employee suffered an electric shock and burns from striking a live cable. Paul Taylor was working for City Fencing Contractors Limited on a construction site at Mead Hill Road, Manchester in May 2024. He'd been part of a team installing fencing around a synagogue. The 59-year-old was using a breaker to dig into the ground in preparation to install the metal fencing. However, the father of three struck a live underground cable, causing a massive electric shock. This resulted in him sustaining multiple burn injuries to his stomach, chest and arms. A health and safety executive probe found that City Fencing Contractors Limited had failed to implement suitable controls to prevent risk from underground services. Before work begins, underground cables must be located, identified and clearly marked. Excavation work should be carried out carefully and follow recognised safe procedures. City Fencing Contractors Limited of Brookfield Drive, Liverpool pleaded guilty to breaching the construction, design and management regulations and was fined £10,000 and ordered to pay over £5,000 costs at Warrington Magistrates Court. In product news, Wago has recalled its top job S terminal block over safety fears. The DIN rail mounted block is popular in the trade for its screwless feed-through, as it provides an easy way to connect solid, stranded and ferruled conductors. The UK Office for Product Safety and Standards says the product presents a serious risk of fire and explosion due to an incorrectly stamped spring. This could heat at the contact point and lead to thermal damage. This in turn could lead to the terminal blocks catching fire and present a risk of explosion if used in a hazardous area. The organisation says the German-made product does not meet the requirements of the Electrical Equipment Safety Regs of 2016 or the ATEX regs. The relevant block types for the recall are Top Job S 2204, 2104 and 2216 with lever, pushers and clamping units. They are composed of an insulating envelope and connection facilities with cage clamp and bridging elements, as well as a retaining clip and end bracket. The products were supplied between September 2024 and May 2025. I'll put a link to a log of the 14 affected types and the 36 relevant batch numbers in the show notes, along with contact details for Wago's technical support, should you need it. Smart tech brand Shelly has unveiled a portal for its installers which allows you to claim and keep track of your cashback receipts. If you achieve bronze certification and become a verified installer, you can claim back 10% of the list price. It also allows homeowners to find you as an accredited supplier of Shelly kit. The products let your customers monitor and manage their energy, their smart home and their lighting. The range includes smart relays, energy meters, lighting controls, sensors and automation devices. The best thing is that they allow you to deliver smart control, automation and energy monitoring without costly rewiring or disruptive retrofit work. At this month's installer show in Birmingham from the 23rd to the 25th of June, you'll be able to explore Shelly's kit, see demos and discover how the technology can work for your customers. The company is on stand 5F24. Also at the show is Metrel, which will be showcasing its MI3136 fast multifunction tester. It supports testing of TT and TN systems, EV charger installs and earthing systems. You can also carry out the required fire safety and maintenance checks. It boasts a 4.3-inch high-res colour touchscreen and automated test routines, as well as an RCD auto function. The MI3136 has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so you can connect wirelessly with the Metrel cloud. It's also compatible with the popular Metrel ES Manager software for reporting, data storage and managing your tests. But how fast is fast? That was the question that my colleague Rick set out to answer this week. I've put a link to his video in the show notes. Still on the installer show, ChargeMate is throwing down the gauntlet to visiting electricians. How fast can you assemble the innovative eVCube charger base? Specifically, can you beat the Boss's record of 3 minutes? The task is straightforward. Assemble the 300 by 300 small eVCube as quickly as possible. There are great prizes up for grabs. There are love to shop vouchers for the fastest time and the runner-up, and a booby prize for the slowest brave soul willing to give it a go. The company says it's not about bragging rights, but proving that the Cube can be rapidly put together by just one person. It's made from lightweight composite panels and requires no lifting gear. It has high-strength stainless bolts for structural integrity and a modular design that ships flat via a courier. There's no shuttering, no wet concrete or waiting around for good weather. You dig the trench, Pop in the parts and connect them up in the hole. You then simply backfill and connect the EV charger. 3 sizes are available: 300 by 300, 300 by 600 and 600 by 600. The design includes pre-marked knockout panels and integrated side cutouts for cable entry and exit to make the install easy. The Kube isn't tied to a single product or layout. It's designed around industry standard footplate dimensions so you can directly mount payment pedestals and charger posts on top. It's compatible with ePark engineering stands and common pedestal formats, so you can scale across different sites without reinventing the process each time. So check out the EV Kube for yourself at the installer show. Sync Energy is also there, so you'll be able to see its range of ultra rapid chargers. The ProCharger DC range offers ratings of between 30 kilowatt single chargers right up to 180 kilowatt double units. They combine robust construction with durable materials and weather resistant housings. There are integrated safety and protection systems, as well as precise energy metering for accurate consumption and billing. Under the bonnet are advanced power electronics and smart load management, which take care of the charging. The units are equipped with 4G, Ethernet and Wi-Fi so that they integrate easily with back office systems for monitoring, billing and remote management. The system is compatible with OCPP standards to ensure that they work seamlessly across different brands and operators. The range features dual DC connectors, optional AC charging and flexible installation configurations. They can be managed using the acclaimed Monta app. Now, how about this for a bright idea? It's the Paul Russell's Lamp of the Week. This week we've got the ultra slim G9 format. Thanks to its size, it's really popular in decorative fittings and wall-mounted luminaires. This one's not halogen, as the first ones were. Dear me no, this baby is LED, and in fact has 14 individual LEDs inside, giving out 200 lumens, but drawing just over 2 watts of power. This one has a colour temperature of 3000 Kelvin and a long life of 25,000 hours. Now, it's that great moment where we get to celebrate the sterling work being done by the next generation. Our Learner of the Week slot is brought to you by XS Training with their online electrical courses for beginners and experienced sparks, covering inspection and testing, solar, battery storage, EV charging, and their specialism, NVQs and AM2 online prep. And our learner this week is Reese Keller, who's just completed what can only be described as an outstanding year at Bradford College. Nominator Adam Brow says he's an exceptional Level 3 student whose dedication, technical ability and professional attitude really set him apart. This year he was awarded the Level 3 Electrical Student of the Year at the Bradford College Star Awards. He was also top of the class in the Spring Series theory exam. Reese has also excelled in inspection and testing, fault diagnosis and rectification, where his methodical approach and problem-solving skills constantly shine. He's currently undertaking work experience with Senior Electrical in Bradford, where he has already proven himself to be reliable, capable and eager to learn. He would be an asset to any electrical company seeking an apprentice for a September start. If you think you can help, get in touch with any of the team here at eFIXX. But in the meantime, many congratulations, Reese, on being this week's eFIXX Learner of the Week in association with XS Training. And now, to the lighter side of the electrical news. Yes, it's time for a tea break with Quickwire and its range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. What's believed to be the world's first solar panel installation on railway tracks has been unveiled in Switzerland. There are now 48 panels on a 100-metre stretch of active railway near the village of Butz. There is no way I'm pronouncing that right. Developed by startup Sunways, the 18 kilowatt panels could generate about 16,000 kilowatt hours of electricity a year, roughly the annual use of a few European households. But the firm says it's a trial, and if it's successful, it could become a standard feature of railways right across Europe. And before you ask, the panels are removable so that crews can take them away when the track needs work. That's the lighter side of the news in our tea break with Quickwire and their range of incredibly rapid electrical connectors. Click the link in the description to check them out for yourself. Now, a reminder that Schneider has unveiled the 2026 version of its hugely popular Score to Win promotion. In this exciting new game, installers must beat the keeper from the penalty spot as many times as they can to win points. And what do points mean? Prizes, of course. This year there are Premier League hospitality tickets up for grabs, as well as signed football shirts. Simply spend a minimum of £250 on Schneider Electric products in one transaction at any participating wholesaler. You'll then be given the opportunity to play a virtual game of skill involving kicking a football into a goal. There'll even be a public leaderboard so you can see how your mates are doing. I've put a link to the terms and conditions in the show notes. Now, just before we get to your favourite bit of the show, where I reveal last week's challenge words and winners, we want to thank our premium partner. We couldn't make the news without you. They're the best thing to come out of Yorkshire since stainless steel, the home of EV Ultra and other groundbreaking and quality products. It's Doncaster Cables. Click the links in the show notes to find out more about this great brand. If you think you know the words I've smuggled into this week's show, pop your guess into the comments. We'll take all the correct guesses and select one at random to be the winner of an eFIXX goodie bag prize. Answers submitted after midnight on the Wednesday after release will not be entered into the draw. Now let's reveal the winners of last week's challenge word competition. Last week's words, which Joe 2.0 did an incredible job of weaving into the script, were munchkin and doom scrolling, and the first person to come out of our electronic hat was Wadders11. So well done to you, Wadders, I guess. Make sure you click the Get Involved link in the show notes to claim your prize. And now it's time for this week's weather from Joe 3PO and Foxy SS.
Last week really was a mixed bag across the UK, and if you were hoping next week brings something completely different, then you might want to keep those waterproofs handy. And this week we are shining a light on Fox ESS Premier Partner LMF Energy Services, who do loads of renewable jobs up and down the country, and they're well worth checking out. And before the forecast, let's quickly check the solar barometer and see where in the country could benefit from a little solar. And this week it's Conway Court in Doncaster. Looks like one of the properties got the arrays, but none of the neighbours. If you want your sunny part of the UK mentioned in next week's solar barometer, let me know in the comments and I could be zooming in on you. Okay, so Tuesday starts fairly mixed across the UK. Northern and western areas are likely to see the greatest risk of showers throughout the day, while parts of southern and eastern England should enjoy brighter spells developing as the day progresses. For solar generation, East Anglia, the South East and parts of the Midlands could see some useful production during the afternoon, while Scotland, Northern Ireland and western coastal areas may spend more time dodging showers than generating power. Wednesday follows a similar theme, although many central and southern parts of England and Wales should see longer sunny spells breaking through at times. Looking further ahead, Thursday, Friday and into the weekend, low pressure remains close enough to keep things unsettled. There will still be sunshine around, but it will be sharing the stage with scattered showers and occasional longer spells of rain. Temperatures should remain fairly pleasant for June, although nothing like the heat we saw a couple of weeks ago. For solar owners, it looks like one of those classic British weeks where flexibility is your friend. Take advantage of the brighter periods when they arrive, make good use of the battery storage and keep an eye on those tariffs, because the weather certainly won't be making the decisions easy for you.
Thanks for that update, Joe. This week we've been lit by Flex 7 with their lightning fast pre-wired modular lighting connection system that keeps your installation times razor sharp. Don't forget to click the links in the show notes to find out more and check out our bonus stories while you're there. Thanks for listening to this episode of Electrical News Weekly in association with Anker Solix, the world's #1 plug-and-play solar battery storage brand. Make sure you subscribe to receive the next update. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have a great week. Stay safe out there, and remember, there's no such thing as a torque calibrated arm.